Right. Welcome, everyone. This is part 2 of the Mark of the Beast versus the Seal of Yahuah. How do we know which one is which? We are going to be continuing now. We left off with some verses before, and so now we are going to be continuing and diving deeper into what is the Seal of Yahuah. So we're going to start off here with Exodus chapter 13. We've got a couple of verses here, and I'm going to put my share screen on very quick, so dive right in. All right, so Exodus chapter 13, verses 7 to 9. So we're going to start at verse 7. So verse 7 says, "Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with you. Neither shall there be leaven seen with you in all your quarters. And you shall show your son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which Yahuah did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that Yahuah's law may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand has Yahuah brought you out of Egypt." So that was Exodus 13, 7 to 9. So part of Yahuah's seal, a main huge component you can see here, is keeping his statutes, his commandments. And specifically in this chapter is keeping of the unleavened bread is part of his seal. So that's very important, his feast days there. We're going to jump now and continue to do Exodus chapter 31, verse 13. And so here we go. It says, "Speak thou also unto the children of Yashrael, saying, Verily my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you out your generations, that you may know that I am Yahuah that does set you apart." And then it goes on to say, "You shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is set apart unto you. Everyone that defiles it shall be surely put to death. For whosoever does any work therein, that soul or that life shall be cut off from among his people." So meaning basically that literally you will die if you do not keep the Sabbath. And there's a connection there with Exodus 12:23 we read earlier about the blood on the doorpost saved the Yashalites from the destroyers. So kind of the same concept there. Believing in Yahusha and having the commandments, which you can find in Revelations 14:12 as a sign of the set apart ones. So that's also cross-reference if you want to look into for yourself. We're going to jump into Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 8, which says, "You shall," and let me actually go up a little bit and actually go to verse 4. "Hear, O Yashrael, Yahuwah is our Elohim, Yahuwah is one, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in the house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes." So very key, the last word, that is very similar, almost a polar opposite to the mark of the beast, but both signs, both marks are forehead, between the eyes, the forehead, and in your hand, in your right hand. So very important there. So we see a contrast there. Now we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12, and says, "Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am Yahuah that sets them apart." Okay, so part of his sign, his mark, his seal, Yahuah's seal, is his Sabbath. And it could possibly the mark of the beast, part of the mark of the beast, be not keeping his Sabbath, keeping a counterfeit Sabbath, aka Sunday worship. Just saying. Let's see here. And now we are going to go to the next part, which is the mark of the beast, its name and its symbol, which is commonly referred to as the number of the beast. Okay, so first we're going to go to Revelations 13:17. And this is where it breaks those three components down. And it was given unto him to make war with the set apart ones, the ones that have the commandments, keep the commandments, guard them, the commandments of Yahuwah the Father and the belief in Yahushua the Son. So it was given this guy, the beast, power to overcome them. And power was given to him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of the life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So the people that worship this beast were not in Yahuwah's book of life, are not written at all. So that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother theory we can get into, but to stay on topic, these are not in the book of life, these people that worship the beast. And let's go to, and actually wanted to read from verse 17. My bad about that. That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, or in the Greek it should actually, my opinion, should be symbol of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number or symbol of the beast, for it is the number or symbol of a man, and his number or symbol is commonly written as 666, which a brother of ours has actually deciphered in his translation, the Nazarene translation, Nero of the Roman Empire. But in the ancient Greek, it would have been chi z stigma, which you will find in pictures of Caesar Borgia, which is the false image of the Messiah that has been propagated by Roman Catholicism. So chi z stigma also has been rumored to even be on the flag of radical Islam. And so take that for whatever it is, that it could be actually a symbol and not a number. And just for everyone's information, I'll actually show you what the chi z stigma looks like. So if any of you want to look into that for yourself, just real quick here. Try to do this quick. I know we got limited time here. Come on. There we go. All right, so here's the biggest image I could find, the most clear image I could find, what the chi z stigma looks like. An X, S, S. My little theory I have here is, if you go into the ancient Paleo or the ancient pictograph Hebrew, an X can also mean a covenant. And those two S's to me look like serpents, snakes. So possibly the sign or symbol of the beast could be covenant of the serpent, mark of the serpent, symbol of the serpent. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Your symbol is not coming up on the screen.
I just did it before. You're sure it wasn't coming up? I had it on there.
No.
Oh, okay. I pressed back just now, so that's why it's not up now. I had it on for like a couple of minutes. I clicked on it and I had it on the main screen. So I don't know what's going on here. I had it on. I had it like a couple of minutes ago on here. Yeah. So this is the chi z stigma. The reason I believe it's because X in Hebrew means mark or covenant, and as you can see here, these S type of letters look like snakes. I believe this is possibly means the definition of this could possibly be mark, sign, covenant of the serpent. So that's what I possibly theorize is the meaning of this symbol. Anyway, but so that's the Chinese stigma right here. So anyway,
It's never showed up, brother.
it never showed up. It's showing up on mine. Why is it not showing up on you guys? It's showing up on mine every time I do screen share. So why is it not going through?
Maybe you have to take what's off on there and then put it up. Because it's still what's on there. The East words have been on there the whole time.
Really? Hold on. What? Wait, if I do screen share right now.
See if that looks enough like it.
Let me see here. Now is it coming up?
Now it is.
All right, okay. So, like I said before, this is the Chinese stigma that was originally in the Greek New Testament that John most likely was writing down that he saw in the vision. And my personal opinion, I can't prove this. The X in Hebrew can mean covenant, sign, mark. So possibly with these two little S squiggly letters, they look a lot like snakes. And that's why I kind of theorize that it's possibly meaning that mark or sign or covenant of the serpent. And that's what I possibly, just thought of just by looking at it. So again, so this right here, where I'm clicking on here, this is the Chinese stigma that traditionally was translated as 666. And so also I'm on Blue Letter Bible, you can do for yourself. One of the definitions for that symbol can be a cross. So just a little history on that. The cross in Catholicism, for Ash Wednesday, they would put a cross on your forehead. And so in a way, that can be kind of like the mark of the beast on your forehead because you're taking a symbol or authority that's only from, I don't know why it keeps going to YouTube. I'm trying to go back and back and back, but this is hardly, I don't know why my computer's being so slow today. But anyway, so anyway, the mark is basically that it's that, well, not the mark, but it's that symbol of the beast. Now, the mark of the beast can be rebellion, sin. There's very many different aspects. Now, not buying or selling, I believe I read that. The not buying or selling, I believe, will be fulfilled within microchips. There's companies like Verichip you can look up that have already done this. They're already getting it ready for people to take. It's going to be something willingly people take too. People will want this mark of the beast. And so the one aspect is economically, like I just said, but there's also spiritually. You have Daniel 2:43, which if I put in the share screen here on my eSword, Daniel 2:43 talks about something very similar to the Genesis 6 experiment, which many refer to in Genesis 6:4. But we're going to go to Daniel 2:43 here, and I believe this is the genetic aspect of the mark of the beast, where it says, whereas you saw the iron mixed with clay. Now, iron is a type of metal. So metal being mixed with miry clay, we are made from the dirt, the earth. So we are like a type of clay. Iron mixing with human flesh. And it says, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, meaning two different types of seeds will be mixed together. They shall not cleave one to another, even as iron does not mix with clay. So that's Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. And I believe another cross-reference that kind of supports that the fact there's a genetic aspect is the fact that you have, I think someone wants to say something, that's why I see something there. Basically in Revelations 9:6, it says that they will seek death, will not find it. So something happened to them not to make them human, who took the mark of the beast. It says, and in those days shall men seek death, Revelations 9:6, shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. So that's Revelations 9:6. We just did Daniel 2:43. And so now that's those aspects of the mark of the beast. And obviously the spiritual aspect, the last aspect, would be that the Catholic Church says that Sunday worship is their mark and authority. And by default, if you don't take Yahuwah's sign, his mark of the Sabbath, which I read from earlier from Ezekiel 20:12 and others, that talks about his Sabbath is a sign, is part of his seal. If you keep Sunday as your day of worship, you're by default keeping the mark of the beast spiritually. So that's the third aspect of the mark of the beast. Now let's see if we have time for the name of the beast. I don't know if we have enough time here. Okay, yeah, I know my camera is going like a robot. Probably my audio's not doing too well right now. All right, so
That sounds fine.
all right, so let's see here. So we're gonna go to the next part here, which deals with his name, the name of the beast. So his name spoken of in Revelations 9:11, and we're going to go to Revelations 9:11 to try to fit this in here. It says in 9:11, they had a king over them, which is the Malach of a bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has his name Apollyon. Now, interestingly enough, we have a little bit of information here about this beast. There's some notes in the East Sword about the beast referred to in Revelations 13:18 that he was also known as this beast named Apollo, Abaddon, was also known as Baal. And Baal is a sun deity that was worshipped by the Babylonians. He is the founder of Babylon. If you read Genesis 10-11, you will find out who the founder of Babylon really is, and he's Nimrod. He is the first king of the world that led a rebellion against the Father, Yahuwah. So Baal is Nimrod, Apollo is Nimrod, they're all the same person. And he's been identified with Zeus, Jupiter, Ammon, Asher, Kronos, Bel Marduk, and many more are the same person. So when it says that they have a king over them who is the Malach or angel of the bottomless pit, it's referring to Nimrod or Apollo. And so they are actually naming the beast here. And so that is his name, his mark, and his symbol that I just referred to.
I have a comment to make on the physical part of it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Daniel 2:43 talks about the iron mixed with clay. And you mentioned the clay being our physical bodies. Well, what they're trying to do is mix human biological material with metal, as in robots and artificial intelligence. You can find that on the website 2045, I believe the name. I just wanted to add that.
Yep. You kind of, at the end, it kind of muffled, so I'll just repeat what you just said. Shoshana was referencing to the website Agenda 2045. It's all about basically creating skins for people to inhabit, basically host bodies. Very weird. And I personally think the host bodies are not even for humans. They're most likely for the Nephilim. As in the days of Noah, Matthew 24:37, Yahushua said, as the days of Noah were, so were the coming of the son of Adam. And I would like for the viewers to understand that sin wasn't the only reason the flood came. So in this study also crosses over to the fact that there will be genetic corruption, and most likely the physical aspect that changes people to seek death, but yet they can't die, they can't physically die, is because they corrupted themselves as the days of Noah. So that's where Sister Shoshana was coming in with that. So as we conclude this, I believe that's it. That's all the verses I had to include, unless anyone has anything else they would like to add to this study. We're at our conclusion now. So anyone that wants to add anything, feel free.
I did want to add that if you take the mark of the beast, here's what will follow. And the third Malach followed them. The loud voice, if any man worships the beast and his image, and receives his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of Yahuah, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the set-apart messenger and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever, and they have no rest, day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. And you'll find that in Revelation 14, verses 9 through 11.
Thank you, Shoshana. I actually forgot about that one. Thank you very much. Also, that just jotted my memory of one tiny little aspect I wanted to also add to this study was this artificial intelligence, this metal with clay ties into Satan's agenda and to him wanting us to corrupt ourselves and selling the lie that we will not die. That if we take his technology, his immortality, his false immortality that he's going to offer mankind, this false salvation, this false eternal life. In Genesis 3:5-6, it says, let's actually start at 4. It says, and the serpent, the Nachash, meaning the shining one, Satan, said unto the woman, you shall not surely die, for Elohim does know that in that day you eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like mighty ones, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, who was with her, and he ate. So that's the last part I wanted to integrate into this study, was that it is going to be something appealing to the eyes. People are going to want this. People are going to want the mark of the beast, all aspects of it, the spiritual aspect, the physical, genetic aspect, the economic aspect.
It will be like an upgrade.
Yeah. They're going to sell it as, don't you want to be like the Greek gods? Don't you want to be like the superheroes? Oh, all you got to do is, take my blood. It's going to be a counterfeit of Yahushua's blood, most likely. It's going to be some way to give them the anti-Messiah's DNA, which in Revelations 9:11, he's not a normal human. He's called the Moloch of the bottomless pit. He's most likely, angelic hybrid of some sorts. So he's going to be offering his upgrade that he's going to give to mankind, and the lie that you will not die. The truth is, we all die. We all are appointed once to die, and then comes the judgment. So
has anyone heard about the third helix? This is the third helix that they're talking about. I believe Rob Skiba has mentioned it, and a few other people in our walk of life. But the third helix is what gives you those superhero abilities. And that's why we say it'll be like an upgrade. That's what they are going to say. They're going to be using that terminology to get people to take this mark.
Hopefully this study brought you guys. I really hope you got something out of this study and maybe shine some light on some stuff that you never thought about with prophecy and scripture. I just hope that Yahuwah has opened your eyes to stuff about the seal of Yahuwah versus the mark of the beast. The seal of Yahuwah gives you eternal life. The mark of the beast, if you take it, you will be destined for the lake of fire. And there's no turning back. As unfortunately, a lot of Christian teachers will say that you can still be saved after the mark of the beast, but no, sorry. You take the mark, you're done. It's a one and done deal. So please take the seal of Yahuwah, and I'll use that as a tradition. Please accept the free gift of salvation that he gives all mankind, that he will give to all mankind at the appearing of Yahushua Messiah. Please accept the free gift that is given in John 3:16. He loved the world so much that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him would not perish but shall, meaning who endures to the end, shall have eternal life. So that's my prayer for you guys today, that whoever has not accepted Yahushua Messiah may accept him today. This is Brother Doug signing off, and the rest of the Awakened by Yahuwah Fellowship Group, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you.